Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Mark LeMay and welcome to another edition of the Wellness Connection. Today we have a special guest with us here. It's Dr. Zachary. So thank you for being with us today, Dr. Zachary.
My pleasure.
So there's been a real concern lately about people's immune system because of all the different viruses going around right now. So could you kind of talk to us a little bit about how you handle viruses?
Okay. Well, one thing is I actually have a primary immune deficiency, so I have had to deal with this for years, like how do I stay healthy, especially working with patients who might come in sick. So I have a lot of tips and tricks up my sleeve about that. One thing I'll say is, the body doesn't have an immune system as much as it is an immune system, and we want to support that. So you've got germ theory, you've got the terrain. Germs do matter, viruses do matter, they're real, they're there. But when someone might not get sick and someone does get sick, it depends on what's going on in the state of their health. So certainly the easiest, cheapest, best thing you can do is to have good overall immune health. And two things, well really three actually, that I'd like to say that I think aren't on people's radar. One is to not eat sugar. Because that will lower your immune response. Even 1 teaspoon of sugar can lower your immune response for 72 hours. And I've been saying this to years for patients, especially before they go in for some medical procedure or something, don't eat sugar for weeks before and a couple weeks after. So I know it's hard for people, but truly it's one of the best things you can do is just to ditch the sugar.
Yes.
The other thing is gluten, and here's why I say gluten. I do tons of gut health, and so I do a lot of advanced stool tests. And what I see, you don't have to be celiac to have a problem. I see patients who they're making anti-gliadin antibodies to gluten. So most bodies don't like gluten, but if they have good gut health, their bacteria will handle it. And when you start seeing these antibodies, doesn't mean they have celiac, but the body is launching an immune response to gluten. Okay, so when we're in an environment where we want the immune system on board, and we're talking about SIG-A, secretory immunoglobulin A, first line of defense for viruses, airborne, respiratory, right? We want that in your system, locked, ready to go, and healthy. We don't want it to say, oh my goodness, here comes gluten. I need to fight a battle here. So you could get the testing, but that costs, hundreds of dollars. Why not just skip the gluten for a couple months? It's easier, it's cheaper, and I'm often telling people to use, the virus scares, and this call to increased immune health to make it like a family affair to improve health. This can be a great opportunity, and hopefully people don't get a virus, but if they do and they're in good shape, they're much more likely to have their body handle it or not have a severe reaction. And that brings me to the third thing, and I can actually show you some things that can help.
That'd be great.
Because people want to know, what can you do to support immune health? But I'm always telling them, do not panic. Please do not panic. Even if it means turning the news off or not watching all these crazy, Facebook things or alarmist things. And it doesn't mean there's not a real reason to be concerned, but when they get so stressed. So this was that study we were talking about earlier. So this was for Gulf War veterans. They found that your perception of the stress determines your response. So if I'm panicked about a virus and you're not, we're going to have a different response. We could be sitting right next to each other and have the same exposure. So if someone's panicking about it, their cortisol is going to rise. And when their cortisol rises, this is one of their stress hormones, secretory immunoglobulin A goes low. So SIG-A, because secretory immunoglobulin A is a lot of syllables, right?
I call it SIG-A.
Yeah, SIG-A. So SIG-A goes down, and when SIG-A goes down, that's that first line of defense. You then get an infection. This is not a theory. They proved it. This is medical research. So we know the detrimental effects stress has on immune health. So I think it's so important for people not to panic. So I'm not saying stick your head in the sand, but buying out Costco might not be the answer, right? Can I talk about a few things?
Let's talk about a few things here that would really help out our viewers.
So these are things that you can help people out with because you want to work with a professional. Can I just say that? The reason you want to work with a professional is, first of all, there's a lot of junk out there. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of bad junk. I've spent money, before I learned this, I spent money on supplements and herbs that didn't work. I'm still pissed. Okay, I only want things that work well, and it's not like just one thing for everyone. There's these little idiosyncrasies. So work with someone who knows what they're doing. Okay, LipoCalm. I love this. This is Quicksilver, and it's a liposomal delivery, and it has a mix of herbs that are going to calm you down. Pharma-GABA. I've been using that for years. Sometimes people who feel like they're going to have a panic attack, that can be very helpful. And you do 4 pumps and hold it under the tongue.
So it's a liquid.
Yeah, it's a liquid, but it's a phospholipid, so there's a fatty bit in there. Hold it on the tongue a little bit and then swallow it. It has skullcap in it, passion flower, chamomile. Some people use it in the evening to help wind down to go to bed, but I think that's a great one to have on hand.
Okay.
So I'll give you that one. All right, this is from the same company. I'm going to show you a couple different things, but let's just hit this one up first. Sort of their specialty is this liposomal delivery, because that's the other issue, is not only getting good quality supplements and herbs, but are they bioavailable? Can your body assimilate it?
Absorb it.
So this is vitamin C, and vitamin C can be very helpful for immune health. We've known that since Linus Pauling, right? But absorbing it is a whole nother factor, and a lot of people use ascorbic acid, which I'm not a fan of. I think of that as a waste product for vitamin C. So this also has some lipoproic acid and phosphatidylcholine. So excellent. Vitamin C, 4 pumps under the tongue. Great, and I think that's 500 milligrams. Okay, 2 more from these guys, and I'm going to show you a couple other things. This is Histaid. Most people think to use it for allergies or an over-histamine production, but this is also good for immune health. There's also vitamin C in here. There's quercetin. You've got phospholipids. Sometimes the issue we have with how our body responds to a virus or an injury is, do we underproduce histamine or do we overproduce histamine? So histamine is important, but we want just the right amount. And sometimes even allergies or like a head cold, it's that overproduction that makes you so miserable.
So does this help the liver to actually clear it faster, or is it just...
It helps calm the overall histamine response, but not necessarily that liver mechanism of the hepatic portal vein. So you might want to mix it with that. Okay. I'm a big fan of layering different approaches together and different products, because they have different delivery methods. These are good too for always check and make sure you don't have any contraindications. That's why you want to work with a professional. Make sure you have an appropriate dose for a child. But these can be excellent for people who can't swallow pills. So I like having more than one option. And this is D3K2. So excellent for immune health. Vitamin D actually acts like a hormone in the body. It has so many functions that it does. The best assimilation I like is when you get that D3K2 combination. K2 is hard to find in food. It's found in natto, slimy fermented tofu. Most people aren't eating it.
I'm not eating that.
But like at least half of all Americans are low in vitamin D. It's chronic. So this is an easy no-brainer one, right? Okay, let's talk about this. This is something that might not be on people's radar. And this is tough to get. So again, you got to get hooked up with someone special. I can't think of any store that would have this, but this is a specific strain. So gut health is so key to immune health.
It is very key.
You need to eat healthy. You need to drink water. You need to not be stressed. You need to sleep. You need to poop. Okay, I'm going to talk about poop.
Talk to my patients about that all the time. They're sick of it.
All right, I love it. So this has Bifidobacterium lactis HN019. Has a couple other key strains, but literally half, so 15 billion out of the 30, are that specific strain, which is known and research tested to increase motility. So you don't want an autotoxemia, where your bowels are moving too slow, chronic constipation. It damages gut health in so many ways. That's a whole nother video, right?
Yeah, it is a whole nother video.
But it's a mess, so we want people to be well supported. And having the right balance of bacteria in your gut also is essential for how you make your neurotransmitters. So now we're talking not just about mood, but how nerves communicate. I mean, I could go on and on.
I know.
Okay, so
Gut health is
it's
really
essential.
important. Yeah.
One thing that's unique about them, and so your patients, you're going to want to be educated. Why do you want to invest a little bit more and get something quality? Most of them, and sometimes I pick on Costco. No offense, we all love Costco, but their vitamin section, I wouldn't even walk down the aisle, quite frankly. But when you're getting probiotics, quality is key, and making sure you get what the label says, you can get it in the body. And one thing that Focal does that's unique is there's these blister packs in there. You can open up and show it, and it's void of nitrogen. So, you know, unlike some other supplements you might want to put in a tray or something, this only open it when you take it, because part of that packaging is key to that bioavailability. That's good stuff. That's high quality.
That's really cool.
This is that same company. This company is known for all of their research and testing, so I love them. They're science geeks. And this is magnesium. These are 2 strains of magnesium malate and glycinate. Good research on that. And this is the kind that you can take every day. A lot of people are using Calm, magnesium citrate, magnesium oxide, and I always think of them, not that there's not a purpose, but I think of them as like a clean out.
Right.
But magnesium does more than that. So people think of it for constipation, people think of it for getting calm and preparing for sleep, but almost half of Americans are chronically depleted in magnesium, and it does so many functions in the body. This is the kind that you can take all the time. Also important for immune health, mitochondrial health. I mean, I could go on and on.
So eat more green vegetables too, right?
Yes, but you need to be able to digest them.
Yes, that is true.
So someone could have a perfect diet, and if they over roast their meat or they overcook their veggies, who cares if they're buying organic, because they lose all the nutrients? And then if they eat a perfect diet and they prepare it perfectly, but they can't digest their food, you lose it then too. So we need good bodily function. Speaking of food, we're almost done. I just wanted to give you some options
here. That's okay. We're loving this.
Okay. So Food Research, they're one of those unique companies that it's 100% food nutrients, totally gluten-free. So that's important. I'm one of those people that needs to be gluten-free. And so when it lists vitamin C here, it's just from food sources. So it's very different. And it doesn't mean I wouldn't use that vitamin C. A lot of times I layer them. So I might have a food product and use a nutraceutical and use a probiotic, right? Multiple approach. And like I said, you know, immune tapped here. When someone's primary immune deficiency, it means like half my army didn't show up to the game.
Yeah.
And so I have to have tips and tricks and tools. I'm going to tell you one other secret.
Oh,
before
okay.
We're done.
We like secrets.
I don't have it here, but it's like one of my secret weapons. Okay, so this has animal products in it. And everyone freaks out about animal products, but the truth is we're supposed to eat this stuff.
We are supposed to.
Yeah. And I was raised on bologna and Velveeta, so I don't eat it. I don't eat bologna and Velveeta anymore. I eat healthy, but I just couldn't bring myself to eat, you know, eyeballs and Rocky Mountain oysters and something beef tartare. I just can't. I can liver. I can't do it. Liver is a superfood, but I can't do it, so I take it because I don't taste it, and I get all the benefits. But when you take an animal product, you want it to be from New Zealand, 100% grass-fed. Whatever those animals eat, you eat. So this is excellent stuff. So this has good animal products in it. This is called Thymoimmune. Sometimes you can find this online, but if they talk to you, that's where you get the best price. I always like the best deal. Just letting people know. Yeah, I like good deals too. And sometimes watch out for Amazon. I love Amazon. I buy stuff from there all the time. But supplements, often people like double or triple the price. So not good. Yeah. This has echinacea in it. It has garlic in it. So it has carrot. You're going to get beta carotene. It has luthro in it. It has golden seal. So golden seal supports mucous membranes. Okay, so we're talking about a virus and respiratory. So great for mucus health and also great for leaky gut, right? Starting to tighten those junctions in the lower bowel. And this one is called Virabac yeast, YST. So this overall enhances immune health. And this is like an interesting blend they put together. Again, it's food. This one's a vegetarian formula. It has fiber, it has chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is like a great blood cleanser.
Yes.
This has beetroot in it, which supports liver health. Liver is one of your major detoxification organs. It has buckwheat in it. I know you talk about buckwheat and how wonderful that is. Olive leaf and oregano. Love oregano, right?
Yes.
Excellent for like bacterial overgrowths and yeast overgrowth. So that's why they threw that in the name. Okay, last two.
I'm getting a lot out of this.
Out of my bag.
Too.
Okay, this is CBD Mendo, and there's more than one reason why you want to use this. And everyone's like really big on CBD. Now, my friends, family, and patients who use marijuana, could you please not smoke it, especially when respiratory infections are going around? Let's just not put smoke in the lungs. It's true it doesn't cause cancer the same way cigarettes do, but let's just not tax the body right now. So if you use that, move to edibles or something. But this you can feel very safe using. This is CBD. It's full spectrum, which means you're going to maximize the benefits, but it has less than 0.3% of THC, so no psychotropic. You're not going to get high off of it. CBD is excellent for pain relief, but what a lot of people don't know about it, first of all, this one you want to put drops on your tongue because it's an ethanol extract.
Yeah, I've tried. This is good.
It is. Sometimes it helps people with sleep, with pain, but here's what they don't know. So the endocannabinoid system is a system relatively newly discovered, and when you think of like your nerves going from your brain and out to the rest of your body, the endocannabinoid system is like this regulation feedback system that communicates back up and says send more or send less. This is important not just for your whole nervous system, but for what's called your neuroimmune health. And this was a system we didn't even used to know about. So this plays an immune role. It's not just pain, it's not just sleep. And it's doing a regulatory impact on your body that you just couldn't even imagine, right?
This is one of those things you just don't know about.
I know. I mean, probably it took you like a month to figure out how to pronounce endocannabinoid, right? Took me a while.
People are asking me, what the heck is endocannabinoid?
I know.
Explain that to me.
Yeah, no, it's for real. It's really cool. It's like sort of dirty because it literally came out of my bag. I don't go anywhere without it.
Is this your secret weapon?
This is one of my secret weapons.
Okay.
And it's so affordable and readily available. So this is grapefruit seed extract, not to be confused with grape extract, right? That's different, antioxidant. This is grapefruit seed extract. Okay. And so again, they need to talk to you about if it's okay to use or not, because some people have a little bit of, oh, I can't use grapefruit. But this is short-term use, and you want to think about this as a natural antibiotic. So I never have anyone use it longer than 10 days, and a lot of times they need it even shorter. But this has been used forever. You know, like the natural feedlots that don't use antibiotics for animals? Yeah. This is what they use.
Oh,
you
really?
could clean your house with this. You could sterilize your silverware. And you don't want to like rub it on your skin. If you put it on something topical, you need a medium like coconut oil or something. But this is so, so powerful. This is what like keeps me working. So the first sign of an infection or a cold, I take it. And if it's a sore throat or a tickle, I put 10 drops in water, maybe just a teaspoon, you know, like it's on a spoon. That's how lazy I am. I just put a little water on a spoon, 10 drops. I put it in, I gargle with it, and then swallow it.
Okay.
Now these nasal, let's talk about nasal, right? Avoiding viruses. They also have, for the lazy, they have like a little spray that has saline and has some grapefruit seed extract in it. Or for the ones who need a bigger kick, you get a saline bottle. This is the only thing I would get at CVS. It's called like Neil Med or the generic one, and you put in the water and you add the little saline packet that comes with it. Don't ever forget that because otherwise it hurts. I've done it accidentally. You need the saline, but put 10 or 15 drops of that in it. So when you do your neti, you know, it's different than a neti pot. It's the nasal rinse, right? It's not the gentle pour. It's the one you squeeze. So I always tell people, just do it in the shower. You're all wet anyway. But you put that in and you're getting that contact. Huge.
Into the nasal cavity.
Yes. And I've had people with chronic infections, green runny nose. They do that no more. I used to have sinus infections all the time. And I think I've had one in like 5 years. So And for people who need to go one step up, they're going to need to get it from your office, but a little bit of liquid golden seal.
Yeah.
So then you add 5 milliliters, 1 teaspoon of liquid golden seal to that rinse.
To this also, and do that up there.
Do the rinse. I just warn them it's a dark orange. Don't do it over your beautiful porcelain sink. You know, you don't want to stain it. But whatever, in the shower, everything
do it in the
washes
shower.
out. Yeah, and it's brilliant. So
Wow.
just like that golden seal we were talking about taking
Yes.
internally from mucous membranes, you can get it right up in there.
Yeah.
So for someone who really needs it, 10 drops in the water 3 times a day,
Okay.
not more than 10 days.
Okay, and gargle with it, right? Gargle it.
Yeah,
before
gargle,
you're
get
done.
it on
Okay,
your throat.
Okay.
First sign of an issue.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you don't need the other support too, but think of that
Correct.
as like a natural antibiotic. It's also antiviral and antifungal.
Wow. Well,
Pretty cool stuff.
that is pretty cool stuff. Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but boy, I just got another great bunch of jewels here from Dr. Zachary. So, Dr. Zachary, thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
on the Wellness Connection. Hopefully, we get to see you again in the future, and
Yes.
hopefully, we can get you back on the show again too. Okay.
All right, thanks.
All
I'd
right.
be
Thanks
happy
for
to.
coming along and
Thank
being
you.
with us. So, we'll see you next time on the Wellness Connection.